So it's fall and apples are in season. What better way to put those delicious apples to use than some healthy homemade applesauce? I'm in the kitchen with my boys today and we're gonna make some yummy applesauce to have on hand for snacks. And we're gonna show you guys how to make this delicious, healthy applesauce recipe. Hey guys, if you're new here, welcome to my channel, Britt Brings It Home. I'm Britt and I do videos to help you create a healthy home and life. And one of the biggest things that you can do to improve your health is to improve your nutrition. I don't count calories or follow a specific diet, but what I do to stay healthy and to keep my family healthy is to eat real, whole, nutrient-dense foods. I'm all about eating foods as close to their natural state as possible to get the most nutrition out of them. So what does it mean if a food is highly processed?
They take all the good bacteria and bad stuff in?
Yes, they take out good stuff and they add not so good stuff. So when a food is highly processed, they take out good nutrients that we need and they put other stuff into that food product like sugar, preservatives, artificial flavors, and artificial colors, just to name a few. This healthy applesauce is about as real whole foods as you can get. We're using the whole apple except for the core. We are using the skin even. And we're just doing a little bit of processing ourselves so that we can control what is going in it. A lot of the applesauces that you buy at the store have high fructose corn syrup in it, which is definitely an ingredient you want to stay away from. Our recipe is going to be using a natural sweetener that actually has benefits too, and that is honey. But if you want to leave your applesauce unsweetened, definitely go for it. Apples, of course, already have natural sugar in them, so you don't have to add any extra sugar or other sweetener. Another great thing about making your own homemade applesauce is that you can control the flavor. You can add other fruits to it if you want. You can add cinnamon, vanilla, whatever flavors you and your family prefer. And this makes a great, easy snack to have on hand for your kids or yourself. Now, we prefer our applesauce to have cinnamon in it and have that fall flavor. Apples are in season right now in the fall, and cinnamon, cloves, those spices go great in applesauce. Another great thing about this is that you can customize how you eat it too. You can eat it cold, warm. You can use it in stuff. People use them in like pancakes and baked goods, all kinds of things. You can use any kind of apples you want to make applesauce. Some people are very particular about the kind of apples that they use, but you can really use any. The apples that work best for applesauce are going to be ones that are softer. They release more liquid and will cook faster. As far as flavor, use whatever your preference is. If you like sweeter applesauce, use sweeter apples. If you like your applesauce to have a little bit of tartness, use more sour apples and lemon. I got my apples at a small farmer's market and I asked the lady that worked there what apples she recommended for making applesauce, and she recommended Golden Delicious because they are softer and they are kind of on the tart side, but they're not as sour as Granny Smith. And then if you're using sweeter apples, use lemon juice to add some acidity and balance out the flavors if you prefer, but that lemon is optional. And then also if you're using more sour apples and you want it to be a little sweeter, then add some honey. We're using a 1/4 bushel of apples, which is 10 pounds, and it's 18 apples. I'm actually using 17 Golden Delicious apples and 1 Fuji apple to add a little bit of a different flavor, a little bit more of a sweeter taste. That's a lot of apples, huh?
Yeah.
Does it feel heavy? We could work out with this. Instead of using dumbbells, we could lift apples. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna wash these apples. So I'm gonna have my boys help me come over to the sink and wash them. Okay, so now that the apples are all washed, we are coring them and slicing them. Jackson is using just a regular apple corer to core and slice the apples. And then Jace is using a knife with my supervision and cutting each slice into 3 pieces so that we have smaller pieces and the applesauce cooks faster. Now, I know a lot of people like to peel their apples before they make applesauce. I do not. I don't like peeling the apples. First of all, it takes a lot longer to make your applesauce, and we're going for easy and healthy here. And leaving the peels on your apples actually makes this applesauce easier to make, and it makes it healthier. There's a lot of great nutrition in that apple skin. That's where all the antioxidants are, like quercetin, which is great for allergies and reducing inflammation. And the skin has more fiber in it, which helps to balance your blood sugar. And that fiber is great for digestion and all kinds of things. So to make your applesauce healthier, leave the skin on. You can cook your applesauce a few different ways. You can do it on the stovetop, in your slow cooker, or in your Instant Pot. If you do it in the Instant Pot, of course, you know, it's a pressure cooker. It has to maintain its pressure, so you can't just pop the lid off and check on them every once in a while and make sure they're not burning, make sure they don't need any more water or anything like that. You can't stir them. So I prefer not to use that method. I like the stovetop method for one thing because my slow cooker is not a super huge one, and there's no way I could fit all those apples in my slow cooker. And also, the stovetop method cooks quickly. We're gonna add the rest of our ingredients to it, put it on the stove, start cooking them, and then we are going to
Blend it up,
and it will be ready to eat. Okay, so our apples are in the pot and we are just adding a cup of water to it. And I turned the burner on high heat just to get the water boiling, start warming it up. Once it's boiling, I will turn the temperature down to medium low. And then I also added the juice of 1 lemon and stirred it up. And then I added 2 cinnamon sticks, and those cinnamon sticks really add some great fall flavor to this applesauce. And then I add 1/2 cup of honey and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and stir it together. Put the lid back on and continue to let it simmer for about 45 minutes to an hour until the apples are nice and soft. And then I'm just using my immersion blender and kind of going up and down at first and then just stirring all around, blending it up until we get it to the consistency that we like. If you like chunkier applesauce, don't blend it as long. And if you like really smooth applesauce, keep on blending. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can even just let it cool down a little bit and then put it into your stand-up blender and blend it until it gets to your desired consistency. And then finally, I'm adding some spices, and I do like taste as I'm going to see like how much it needs. The cinnamon sticks added some cinnamon flavor, but it needed more. So I added 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, as well as 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, just to bump up that like cozy, warm fall flavor. Okay, so that is it to make the healthy applesauce recipe. So now all we have left to do is taste it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Delicious.
Oh wow, that's a big bite. Oh my goodness. All right, Jackson, how does it taste? You guys are the judges.
Good.
Good. Okay, I think
Delicious. Delicious.
delicious.
Best applesauce ever. Yeah.
With the cinnamon and the cloves, it really gives it a perfect fall flavor. Perfect healthy snack to have this fall. This recipe is also on my blog if you want to go back and look at it for reference and print out the recipe. Feel free to do that. I will put the link to it down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and come back for my next video.
Hit that bell button.